Peace out, Harris. What's good, man? It's your boy Eru, host of the DiehardKnicks podcast. We got a treat for you. We got Raphael Diaz hanging out with me today to talk about none other than Julius Randle, man. So, you know, he gets hit on a lot about the whole Julius Randle homer stuff and whatever, but I happen to think he makes good points. So we're here to really talk about Julius Randle, what he means for the team, whether or not we should trade him or what's going to happen if he does stay, man. So thanks for tuning in. Please stick around and listen to the conversation. Just me and Raph going back and forth on the DiehardKnicks podcast. Let's go. My man Ralph there. I forgot to put myself in there. What's good, my man?
What's
I'll
good?
be calling you Ralph, man, but your name is Raphael, bro.
Yes, sir. Nah, it's all good, man. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's like a natural thing for people to say Ralph,
Yeah. Nah, it's all good.
So, do you got a nickname, man? Did anybody call you anything?
That's what people used to call me, Ralphie. When I started working, that 9 to 5. You start working 9 to 5. That's Raphael. That's what that 9 to 5 life. So
yeah. And for me, everybody calls me Rue at work. Everybody calls me Rue.
Word?
That's my last name.
I kind of, how it goes.
Yeah.
I kind of struggle with that name thing, man. I wish I had it better, but Ralph, Raphael, Raph.
But you got a cool name, and you got a Ninja Turtle, man. You got
Raph is cool. I think I like Raph. Sometimes Raph is easy. I feel like it's right there. It's just enough.
Yeah.
But let's get to it, man.
I know, man. You like to pop that jab. You like to snap
yes,
through the hooks and all that.
It's not much going on. Not much going on, but
there's always something
good
going
basketball. Talking Julius Randle basketball in my book, man. So.
Well, that's definitely the biggest conversation because I mean, last night I did a podcast with DiehardKnicks. We had a guest also. Shout out to Cody. But we were supposed to be talking about Emmanuel quickly, but we spent the whole podcast arguing about Julius Randle. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that is like the to me that's like the most energy everybody wants to talk about. They don't want to talk about basketball. They just want to talk about how are we going to get Julius Randle off this team. How is he going to fit?
But what they don't understand is that this team needs a villain.
Yeah.
This team needs a villain. Like if you remember, I didn't call Tom Thibodeau the Joker. Was that me that called him the Joker? You told me that, right?
Yeah, I got him right
so
here.
He's the Joker, right?
Yeah.
And RJ, he has this whole Batman theme. So, it's just Julius Randle is just like one of those other villains that, that's taken away from RJ's shine. And the reason that RJ misses a jump shot is because of Julius Randle. And the reason that, he's not a superstar right now is because Quentin Grimes is untouchable now. So Quentin Grimes is becoming like another villain of the team because he's untouchable, and RJ Barrett was almost traded for Donovan Mitchell. So this the gripe. So Quentin Grimes is in there. Tibbs is the Joker. Quentin Grimes, they call him the ham sandwich now. Like that's a new thing now. So he earned himself the ham sandwich. And Julius Randle, no matter what he does, it's not because of the thumbs down. It's because the team, in my eyes, needs a villain, and I feel like he can improve to be the villain. He continues to play his role, no matter what. If he plays good, it takes away from RJ. If he plays bad, so forth and so forth. So he can't win. He's in a no-win situation. Whoever wants to replace him to be in a no-win situation, then by all means we can all try. But we all need somebody that we can hate. That's what everybody's looking for. Nobody's looking for somebody that can get on because everybody is taken away from RJ. Everybody's taken away from RJ.
Yeah. Well, I like what you're saying about the villain stuff, man, because not only just the bag takes somebody that's always got the camera in his face and that type of thing. It's really like we don't have no goons on the squad. We just got a whole squad full of nice guys. Even the guy that's supposed to be the main goon, Mitch Robinson. People saying, "Oh man, well, that's too much pressure for him. He needs to go out on the perimeter, shoot the jump shot, that type of stuff." So I mean, like, who is going to be the bad guy? And then also too, another narrative too is like you ask like, what should we do with Randall? Like, we'll get into that too. But people say like that, well, he needs to go in the post, he needs to rebound more, and then they disregard his rebounds, and then they disregard the way that he scores. So he's like in a no-win situation.
No-win situation because they don't want him to win. He's the villain. We want him to be a villain. You don't want to bring a night. They don't. Do you think they're gonna trade for somebody who's gonna get along with RJ? No, RJ until It's also, but the only thing I disagree with you about Mitch is this. I respect the little thing that I respect about Mitchell Robinson is that he catches heat versus RJ. RJ catches no slander like that. Like at least Mitchell Robinson, he gets his arrows.
Yeah,
straight up, he gets his arrows. RJ, he has a whole an excuse police, and I call them the RJ Barrett police.
He's on a pedestal right
real
now, right?
police. You could get unfollowed on Twitter. You could get more. It gets to that level. Like you better not say anything about.
Yeah, it's like a Beyonce hive. You can't say nothing bad about Beyonce because they'll freaking come in and shut your account down.
I think this is like one of the biggest hives that I'm like, yo, this is like.
Do you think it's bigger than this guy Frank Ntilikina? I keep talking about that.
Yeah, I feel like it is, for sure.
Yeah.
At least Frank, you could criticize him.
Yeah.
You can't criticize RJ Barrett at all. Like you got to be careful. Like you really gotta be careful of like saying anything wrong. They're gonna come down on you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about trades and stuff, man, because this is what everybody wants. Everybody wants him gone. Another guy too. Shout out because I see him at the bottom of the screen there. Shout out to Evan Fournier. Everybody wants Fournier out of here too. But I mean, we gotta have talent.
First of all, we need. I gotta remind you, Iru, that after the '94 finals, when John Stark shot 2 for 18, that the stigma was this team can defend, but they can't shoot. Right. Maybe you didn't think that, but I did, and I was very glad that we traded for or signed Allen Houston. I know we got Allen Houston, so I don't want this team to be a defensive team that can't shoot. Like the RJ Barrett hive, they're so obsessed with RJ Barrett, that they want to eliminate the shooters too. He's just in the way, so to speak. We need shooters.
So what do you think about because most people want to see Cam Reddish start at the 3 and RJ at the 2 with Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson. Where's the shooters? There's no real pure shooter.
There's no shooter. They're not shooters.
Right.
I literally got myself in some hot water on Twitter because I said RJ Barrett doesn't have a jump shot like that. Like he's not a shooter.
Right.
I think he should take less shots next season. He took 17 shots. That's like if you average that's 7 for 17 for the season. I'm like, nah. I said we got shooters like Evan Fournier and Quentin Grimes. I want them to take more shots. We got to continue to, and we all know Tip's game plan is shoot the 3, defend. That's his game plan. That's what he wants.
Yeah.
RJ Barrett really can't do that. Look, I'm not too impressed about Julius Randle either, shooting 40%, but he can't do that again. That's my guy and everything. Look, I got his. It's number 30 all day, but if I can say Julius Randle, I'm not happy about it. Even though the RJ Barrett is gonna come after me for saying something like, RJ Barrett, that's not impressive to say you shoot 7 for 17 for the season. It's just not. I'm not. If it's not good for Julius Randle, shouldn't be for RJ either. We need our shooters. Thank goodness we got Fournier. Thank goodness we got Grimes. Cam Reddish, he's decent. I hope he gets minutes. I want to be. He is rumored to be traded for to the Lakers. So, there are thoughts. I'm sure the front office is thinking about moving him and constantly upgrading. So
yeah. Well, just to add context to it, like when you're playing basketball, it's a 5-on-5 game. So if you got Julius Randle, that you don't want, nobody wants the ball in his hand, right? So okay, if the ball is not in Julius Randle's hand, then it's Jalen Brunson, the point guard,
Right.
and then it's RJ. So if you
Right.
got those two guys, where's the shooters? Because now you got Cam Reddish. Cam Reddish is going to be the guy standing in the corner waiting for a jump shot. Do you want him doing that? That's not really his
I
game.
heard, I heard that Cam Reddish could be a decent catch and shoot guy. I haven't like read his profile like that, but I heard like he can be a decent catch.
But
I
is
don't
that
know.
his game though? Is that the best
I
way to
haven't really
utilize him?
much. I haven't really much watched much of. I mean, I like his game. I like his layups. The
Yeah,
thing I like about RJ and Cam are their layups. Cam Reddish, I feel like can make it more than RJ.
yeah. I think
But
he's
in
like
terms,
he might be
but
our
we're
best
talking.
finisher. I think
But,
definitely.
but you're right. But right, I think Cam might be a better friend. But the thing is like we're talking about jump shot, like you're saying.
Yeah,
If I'm gonna go for somebody's jump shot, we need Grimes or Evan Fournier first in the line. Whoever's next after that, I don't know. They can fight for it. Maybe Emmanuel Quickly's a better shooter, or maybe Grimes. I don't know. Or maybe I'm sorry, Reddish. But I'm not with that whole notion of having this team with no shooters and I want a defensive team and a wings that can defend. No, no. You gotta defend and you gotta shoot. If you can't shoot, I gotta keep looking. I gotta keep looking at
yeah.
that.
If you
We gotta
can't
get some
shoot,
shooters.
if you can't shoot in 2022, you're dead in the water.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm
like
out. I'm
like
out.
like look at a team like say like Washington. Washington, they don't have no shooters. When what's the name got hurt, Bradley Beal, they just got a bunch of like in between guys. Guys just trying to get to the basket, and they didn't really have too many guys that were shooting the three like that. So once you
Right.
do that, you're just kind of just dead. You no matter how hard you play, you're always going to be behind the eight ball because you're always scrambling, trying to figure out who's going to knock down that jump shot. When guys
So
go 1-on-1, the defense breaks down. You know what I'm
right.
saying?
So again, I just want to push that I'm pushing for the Grimes hive, man. We gotta make sure that Grimes gets more than five shots next season. I want if we can get 10, and Randall can take less shots, and RJ can take less shots, so Grimes can get more. I'm on board with that. Like we gotta get our hands. The ball gotta go to the shooters.
Yeah.
We gotta feed the shooters.
Well, let me throw this at you too, right? Since we were trying to talk about quickly yesterday, we really talk about it, but I was trying to get them to think about the quickly thing because I mean,
Right.
we need shooters, or whatever, and then we got Derrick Rose is going to come off the bench. We already got Brunson, so I mean, having RJ at the three is decent, but is quickly an option at the two, when you're talking about shooters
Yeah,
and just trying to take advantage of what we're doing on the roster.
yeah. I want him to get more shots. That's what I'm saying. This is why we gotta have that tough conversations. These
Yeah,
are the tough conversations nobody wants to have.
yeah,
Less shots for RJ and Randall. Nobody who's gonna have that conversation. That's crazy talk for a lot of people. But truth is, IQ should get more shots. Quentin Grimes should get more shots. Fournier, he got to get more shots. He broke John Stark's record. So we
yeah,
gotta feed these guys. And I would like RJ to play make more.
right.
I think he could be a fantastic playmaker. I think if he looks to pass more, I think it'll be great. But you look again, he has some layups. Most of the time, it's not. He's gonna miss, or he gets fouled. He doesn't get called. There's that layer, and also like when he gets to the free throw line, I know the first 3 months he's gonna be shooting six. He gets fouled. He gets to the line. He's gonna make 1 for 2,
Right.
and that's gonna go on for 3 months. So that's the
That's a major
reality.
thing too, because I mean, it takes historically it takes RJ a long time to get warmed up. It's going to take till after New Year's before he really gets in his stride. That's what he's been doing since he's been a Knick. So
Right.
he can't do that again.
And nobody really wants to talk about that because it doesn't. But good thing we got Grimes. So Grimes, that's just what I'm saying. Like maybe we should give him less minutes and have Grimes step up because Grimes, if he's shooting 40% from the field, at least Grimes is if he shoots that, at least that's all 3 pointers. You know
Right.
what I mean? Versus 2 pointers. Like
Right.
that's gonna help us out. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
spacing the floor, and it's more points. But
Yeah. Shout out to Canal. Canal is one of the admins here, not admins. The freaking the
moderators.
moderators. There you go, Mister. Mister. Anyway, he's talking about RJ. It takes too long to be good. The same thing like we just said there. But that compounds the whole thing, Julius Randle thing. To bring it back to Julius Randle, because if RJ's not cooking, now who's going to get the ball? It's Julius Randle now. Now you put the pressure in his hand, and
Mm-hmm.
Julius Randle wants the ball. but he makes bad. Everybody can agree he's a hothead. He makes bad
Mm-hmm.
decisions when he gets mad. So if RJ's not cooking it, he's not doing what he's supposed to do. Now we're gonna revert back to that because that's like a default, a fail safe
Right.
for our offense, man. And in order to get rid of Julius the way everybody wants to, other guys have to step up and do their thing.
Right. But good thing we got Jalen Brunson. So Jalen Brunson can score. So at least Julius Randle got help with. Evan Fournier is going to break the record again. Whatever record he had last season of 3-pointers, he's going to break that record again. Then you have Jalen Brunson who can score and he can also pass the ball to Mitchell Robinson. That's going to help out. So we got to prepare for RJ to have a slow start because that's what's been happening consistently. And but if he steps up, great. I'm not going to complain. But I just hope he just takes less shots, so that way. And I hope that he forks over minutes. I know it's going to be tough to say, but I hope he forks over minutes so that Cam Reddish could step in, or Grimes could get more minutes, or both Emmanuel Quickly and Grimes could get more minutes. Yeah. So that way, you know what I mean? That would help out, the whole team more.
Yeah. If there ever was a team now that everyone talking about, let him get 24, let him get 20. If there was ever a team that everyone can get close to that, 24, 26, 27, 28, around that minute scheme, it's this team right now. Because there's so many guys that deserve a shot, and everybody can't play 30 minutes. Everybody can't get, like you said, everybody can't get 17 shots. This team has to get their bread and butter from being, a really good team unless a trade happens, man. So
right,
we were talking about,
right. I mean, look, a trade almost happened last summer, right? So this summer, a trade almost happened. So, and we all remember the names that was in that trade: RJ, OB, Mitchell Robinson, Emmanuel Quickly, and Quentin Grimes was not there because I feel like Quentin Grimes has the kind of defense to get on the floor. He has and he has a 3-pointer to get on the floor. So we got to. I want him to get minutes, and I want him to shoot not just minutes, but I want him to shoot at least more than 10 shots a game.
Yeah, well, he talks a good game too. When the guys out there playing, he's communicating. So as a coach, like you need your guys to communicate. You don't need to keep reminding Quentin Grimes when he's out there to communicate. Saying letting guys know left, right, get down, come up, watch the trail, that type of stuff. You don't have to force him to do that. You can see Tom Thibodeau a lot of times he's yelling at RJ, yelling at Julius, yelling at certain guys because they're just not direct. They're not doing their job out there on the court. Making sure everybody's where they're supposed to be.
Right. Even though they got bigger responsibilities than Grimes, but you do make a good point that at least Grimes is much better than OB's first year. Like he's not getting killed like OB. Like OB, you got to do this. Like OB was his rookie year. He gets called out a lot, but
yeah, he was getting cooked. He was getting cooked a lot last year.
And he was getting cooked too. But that is a good conversation you're bringing in about trades because, we got a lot of young guys, a lot of young guys, and some of them might need a new home.
Yeah, I'm trying to get at that too, man. Because I mean, Julius Randle, that's what everybody keeps talking about. But you mentioned offline that Obi Toppin, even though we keep talking about Julius, maybe Obi Toppin might be a guy that we can package somewhere just to sell high on that dude.
Yeah, he might be in the package. I mean, he was almost traded in June, and you know what I mean? You got to keep your eyes open because, this is not a narrative I'm making up. This is not no make-believe no more. This is real talk right now that Obi Toppin was almost traded in June, July. So he could have been traded. He could have been had.
Right.
So we got to prepare for those kind of stuff that, listen, man, he's uber talented, but this is Julius Randle's team.
Yeah.
You can love RJ all you want in this team, and you can hate Julius Randle all you want, and Tom Thibodeau can be the Joker.
Right. But like we're trying to say, like just the conversation. That's why I just have you on here because it's just about the conversation, just to get the thought process out. Because you mentioned I bring a good point, you bring a good point. These are points that people are not talking about. I'm not talking about enough. They just want to harp on the same things and continuously argue about it, and then people get frustrated listening to it and all that type of stuff. But aside from those little nuances that people keep going at, there's other things to talk about. Like
Right.
yeah. So I mean, if you're gonna trade Julius Randle, right? Like where would he go? Because if you look around the league, who needs Julius
Well,
Randle?
you got to remember that Julius Randle has the right to choose what team he goes to.
Right.
So this is not like Leon Rose mentioned that. Like I wish I could play you a clip of what Leon Rose said, but like he said something along lines like, Julius Randle he has to pick his destination. Like he's on that level of, because this is his team, and a lot of people like really think like this is not his team. Like he's just whatever. No, this is literally his team to the point where it has to be approved. Like Leon Rose will definitely run it by Julius and say, "Hey, Julius, can you let me know what team you would want to play for?" So if you want to do a scenario, what I believe Julius Randle, what team he would choose, yeah, we could have that conversation. Like I would think maybe, I don't know, man. It has to. He would have to probably be one in a winning position, and
Well, we always talk about Phoenix. People talking we were talking about it
I could see that
offline.
maybe Devin Booker.
You're right. Well, Jay Crowder is a name that people keep talking about. Jay Crowder, trade Julius for Jay Crowder, and get some draft picks and that type of thing. But in the what we're doing right now, how does getting Jay Crowder and getting draft picks help us?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna be honest. Jay Crowder. No, that does nothing for me. Nothing. No, I do sort of like that idea. I know he probably Julius Randle with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander,
I
and
like that too.
that's a good duo. I like that. Like
Yeah.
that's dope. Like I'm like,
So you're thinking about say like a Donovan Mitchell thing to the same kind of scenario where we're trying to trade certain guys to get Donovan. We can do the same thing with Shea.
well, for not for Shea. I'm talking about Julius Randle playing with Shea in
Yeah.
OKC. I
Hmm.
think he would say yes. I think he will think about it. I don't know if he'll say yeah, but he will
Oh,
do
oh,
some.
to play with Shea in
He
OKC.
he wants to play with Shea. Yeah, he will play with Shea,
Okay.
and probably he probably would want to play with Josh Giddey, and possibly Shet. What's that guy? Holmgren,
Right.
the guy that hurt his foot. Like I can sort of see a scenario where he will say he will give it a thought. He'll probably decline, but
Right.
like to play with Josh Giddey, Shea Gilgis, and Shet Holmgren, I could sort of see like, okay, I'll think about it. Like that's right now. This is Lou Dort. He'll probably be cool with that.
Right.
I could sort of see
But
him do the Josh Giddey. Like I could see him think about that.
but who would come our way? Because I like the idea. I like the idea because I mean I can see him
Well,
going over there. Like I said, because over there he has a spot. There's no power forward over there because this guy
right,
Chet Holmgren is out for the season. So he
right.
has a spot to play. So who would we take away from them to make our team
I
better?
don't know. We'll probably have to, probably get some picks or,
Well,
because like again, like just how like I mean, I'm not gonna say it's a hot garbage take Jay Crowder and two first round picks. I'm not gonna diss the guy Jay Crowder, but
right.
it'll probably be like something like a two first round picks. I don't know. You know how that goes.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't know what would get in return. But all I can tell you is that's the only team so far at the top of my mind that I can think that Julius Randle will be like, oh, okay, I can respect OKC.
Right.
I could. It's a young core, and they have talent, so I can sort of see him do that.
Well, I don't know what's going on here with Derek Favors, but I wouldn't mind taking Derek Favors, to bring him on the team. He's like I think it says player
He's always
option.
injured though.
Yeah, he's always enjoy. I mean, but this is just to get the
Right,
ball rolling
right,
with the
right.
trade.
Being desperate and getting two first round picks. Let's just like
Yeah.
the way these fans think. And I said
Right.
these fans
Well,
think, yeah, let's just get two first round picks. Who cares what we get in return?
right.
Addition
Well,
is
one
better
guy I
than
like too. I
subtraction.
like Darius Baisley. I kind of like him a
Maybe
lot.
there's Baisley. Yeah,
Yeah.
sort of see that.
Yeah, just looking at
Yeah.
the roster, you got Poku's over there. Got Trey Mann is decent. You got
Oh,
a
I
couple
like Trey
players that
Man.
we can
Trey Man
steal
is
from
kind of
them.
dope.
Trey
Trey
Mann,
Man
right?
is fun. Trey Man and Darius Baisley, like
Yeah, Yeah, they got
You know, but
they
the
got
thing is, you got to remember, Era. Like, no matter who we get in return, you know, I don't see a lot of Knicks fans respecting them.
yeah,
it's all about homebrew with New York Knicks fans. So like,
right.
that's
But
why I
if you
don't
do,
even,
yeah, but
you
if
got
you do the homebrew stuff, like you gotta like if people want to get rid of Julius Randle, you gotta understand that we gotta get something back. So I mean, just getting back, like we were saying, my man, Jay Crowder, just him alone and 2 first-round draft picks, that doesn't do it for me. That's just
yeah, it doesn't do it. It does. My whole thing is like, I'm big into this. I don't want to have R.J. Barrett and Obi and this young core and win 25 games. You know what I
right.
mean? Like, I'm not on board with that. If I have RJ, if you have all these, if we have a young core, you gotta be competing. You gotta get to the playoffs. Like, you can't, you can't settle
Well,
for less. Like,
I gotta highlight my man here because I mean this the way that he commented here, that's how people talk on Twitter and stuff like that. So I mean stuff like this kind of kills the argument. He's useless on other NBA teams, but some Knicks fans keep hope alive. Fuck out of here. That's the bullshit. That's what starts arguments and that's what kills conversation. Shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So
right,
I get it. Me and you both agree that like Julius trading because right now we're looking at teams. We can't find a trade. There's like no easy answer to get rid of Julius Randle. So that's really the point of me even saying it because it's like it's no real way to get him off the team. So since he can't get off the team, making comments like this, useless to all NBA teams. Keep Knicks fans want to keep fuck out of here. It just screws up the whole conversation. Like
not
you
really.
can't talk
But
Knicks now.
like I said before, like Leon Rose can't do whatever he wants with Julius Randle.
Right,
Julius Randle has to pick where he goes. Like,
right,
Knicks fans really think like the reason those Knicks fans think like that is because they think that Julius Randle is useless. Like, they really believe what they're saying.
right.
But Leon Rose already told you, listen, if we're gonna move him, he has to tell us, he has to give us a list where
Right.
he wants to go. Like,
So
it's
we're
just
basically strapped now. We got our hands tied now because we're stuck with this guy. That's basically what I'm trying to say. People make comments like this, and then my man Matt comes in and comes. This is what happens. This is the snowball effect. One guy says one thing stupid, and then another guy comes in and say another thing stupid. Next thing you know, you're
right.
defending. You got you on an island defending Julius Randle, but meanwhile you want Julius Randle off the team too. But you can't have a conversation because it's just the dead comments. Like, oh, he ain't shit. Fuck that guy. He can't do this. He can't do it. I want him off my team. It's nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Because like you said, Leon Rose already said that we can't trade him because we have to cater to him basically. And then if you look around the league, who are we getting for Julius Randle? There is no trade. There is no trade to make.
Yeah.
You know. So the conversation now leads right. How do we get him to function on this roster? How do we? Because we can't get rid of him. You know. And then the minutes are crazy.
Listen, man, seeing the whole young core being up available for Donovan Mitchell's letting you know
Right.
this is his team. They don't, a lot of people, they don't like it. They don't like the response. They're
Right.
letting you know this is Julius Randle's team. Like, there's gonna be I feel like by the trade deadline or maybe next summer, it's gonna be a lot of broken hearts next summer, boy.
Yeah. Everybody can't take the ride. Everybody can't make it to the
They
end.
want it. They want to. I get it. Look. They want a homer for their guy. My favorite player is this player, this player, this player. Cool. You could do that, but I don't know, man. I don't know what the signs are pointing. RJ was available.
Right.
Obi was available. Mitchell Robinson was available. What you heard about Julius Randle? We couldn't trade for him.
Yeah,
Nobody wants him.
he wasn't in
Nobody
any
wants him.
rumors.
That's like one of the best answers, Eru, that the front office has right now in their bag right now. They're killing them. They are killing these guys. They
Yeah.
can't deal with it. But
Well, shout out
Julius
to
Randle's
Mac.
out there. He's out there.
Shout out to Mac. Mac said trading for picks. He also said Julius Randle's a black hole. That's the conversation. How do we change? Because now we have a different roster. We got a point guard here. So how do we change his role, change Julius Randle's role. That's the main thing we need to do. And how do we be successful in that?
Well, I think Julius Randle did sort of change his role when he went to that Utah Jazz game and was there to see Jalen Brunson play live. So I feel like he sort of scouted his guy. He scouted his point guard like, yeah, I want this guy right here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So he's ready to give him the ball. He can score, and he's not gonna he's not gonna be in a situation where if he misses a shot, it's Tom Thibodeau's fault because he doesn't have an offensive coordinator, or
Right.
it's Julius Randle's fault because he gave him the ball when there was like 10 seconds on the clock. You give Jalen Brunson the ball, he's gonna score.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's it. Like no enough with the nonsense. Like
Yeah,
so
that's underrated too. That's underrated because the front office came in force and they had Julius Randle there to watch the guy that they plan on signing. So that means that Julius Randle had to give them some kind of cosign and say, "Listen, this is okay. I could play with this guy. If you're
yeah.
this guy you want, I could see myself." And maybe not just him. They're telling him, "Listen, man, look at this how this guy plays. I need you to be like this. I can see you in Luka's spot while Jalen is doing this. It's the visual. Like I just
Right.
need you to see what it looks like. Because you think you're Luka, you could be in Luka's spot right here. Imagine yourself in Luka's spot and look at how this is going to work. Because this is the guy. He's coming. We already tampered. We're tampering right now. We already know we're getting the guy.
Well,
So,
and it's always good when everybody's bought in. Everybody's
right.
got to buy in. So he's bought it. He's like, you know what, man, that's a good idea. I'm in on this. You know what I mean? Maybe he's just like that. It could have been that simple. I like your idea, Leon Rose. I like what you guys are talking about it. I'm in on that situation. You know what I mean?
All right, so listen, I got Trillions. Like if I'm interviewing Trillions right now, I got him now. So now he's talking basketball, right? He said we need to play him in the third role. That's it. Blah blah blah. He will create a disruption. I get it. So I mean, play him in the number 3 role. So now you're talking basketball. So what does that mean, playing a third role? Because I mean,
Yo, you there?
option. This is open, team play, running fast breaks, getting 3-point shots, that type of stuff. It's a different kind of game now. It's not how it used to be. You know what I'm saying? So when you talk about a number 3 role, what does that mean?
I mean,
What does that mean to you?
for me, look. First of all, I'll say this much: for Julius Randle to take a step back from Evan Fournier last season, he did fine. I think at first it was a little bumpy, but look, Evan Fournier got his shots up. I think Fournier's gonna. I think he's gonna take a backseat to Fournier. Fournier's gonna shoot more shots, and Jalen Brunson, I think he's gonna. Let me check. I have Fournier stepping up in the ladder. In terms, I don't think he's going to be a 4th option. Fournier. I think Fournier is going to be a top 3 option.
You think so?
I'm going shooters up.
All right, so check it. Who if he's
shooters are going up? Shooters up. And
if you got
he's
Fournier number 3,
just scrolling down.
Well, if you got Fournier, say on quote unquote option, third option,
Top
who's
3,
number 2 and 1?
3.
Who's 2 and 1?
I could see possibly RJ still going up. I mean, RJ's probably because he's going to take less shots, but I can still see the chemistry between Jalen Brunson and RJ. He'll still be top 3. Maybe Julius Randle should take less shots next season. Maybe.
So you got him actually,
and some games he can really take over.
Right.
You know what I mean? So some games he'll cater, and some games, I'm going for 20 shots this game. I'm gonna kill.
Right.
I'm playing Sabonis today, or I'm playing Giannis today. I'm taking 20 shots today. I gotta let him know. I gotta let him know that I'm here. So it's like because it's always that competition with the competition. But most games, I kind of see him taking. I would like for him to take between 10 and 13 shots. Give the ball to Fournier. Give the ball to Brunson. Let them shoot. You know what I mean? I trust Brunson, but when it was Evan Fournier and RJ, I have issues with RJ. He can't. He takes. But if it's Brunson, okay, cool. I can deal with that. Like those 2 guys, give them the ball. Just.
I'm along those lines there. Like all the perimeter guys, Fournier and these guys, they need to dictate what's happening because they're the guards. The forwards need to do what they do. When it comes to modern basketball and stuff like that, you really have to take into account like the game, whether you think it's modern or not. Like the guards still need to dictate. The big men need to do what big men do. Like
Mm-hmm.
Julius Randle's bread and butter is really going to the basket. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
play some video in a second here. Just let me just get this out of here. I'm gonna play some video in a second just to put some context into that. But I still got Trillian's quote here because he said he will create a disruption. How you make Julius Randle get away from that disruption stuff that takes away from the team is that you put him in a different role. So I mean, like that's why I'm getting you to talk more about the pecking order 1, 2, 3 roles. So you said RJ, Brunson, and Fournier, and then now Julius Randle is in that fourth role because that would take the stress off of him, and
Mm-hmm.
then it puts him in a more logical role where if he gets the ball, he should be in a spot where he can do something with it rather than him doing something trying to get other people involved. I don't think that's how it should go because I think we're too talented on the perimeter to keep doing that.
Well, right. The thing is that we got somebody that can act who's an efficient scorer. Jalen Brunson is an efficient scorer.
Yeah,
So Jalen Brunson can score, and Evan Fournier is a shooter. So I
right.
feel like those two are gonna and sometimes it might be Quentin Grimes instead of Fournier. So that dynamic, I think that's gonna be cool. So
Well, shout out to Kenny Payne. I don't think this is the real Kenny Payne, yeah, but he said, I can't see RJ averaging 20, and then he said you're demolishing an all-star. Not necessarily, because here's the thing: like there's been players on other teams. Shout out to RJ, to Andrew Wiggins. He averaged 16 points and he made an all-star. Made the all-star team.
hmm
It's not because that RJ is better than him because RJ scored 20. RJ was on a losing team, so he scored 20 on a losing team. This guy Wiggins scored 16 on a winning team. There's the whole different dynamic there. So
right.
that's how he can make a team. So I mean, a guy like Julius Randle can still average. He can come into the season averaging 16, 8, and 3, and he can make the All Star team if the Knicks are winning.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? The Knicks will have to win, and then he can make it.
good point. And and not to mention, we got a good bench, Hero.
Yeah,
Another player that might get traded, maybe Derrick Rose. I mean, that's another one that we got. That's a sleeper.
yeah,
So
man.
like we got a big bunch of those. Like it wasn't like he wasn't mentioned, but I wouldn't be surprised. Like bro, like if you have IQ and Grimes coming off the bench, that's a lot of shooting too.
Yeah,
So you can just let them just keep letting just let the guards just keep shoot. Let them keep shooting it. So
yeah. Let
and
them
we're good.
dictate. Let them
Let them
dictate
dictate the
the
offense. Like
yeah.
they're good enough they have they're talented enough where the only thing I want RJ to do or Randall is just basically pass them the ball.
Right.
Either drive it to the basket or pass them the ball because they're gonna shoot. Let them shoot it. So that's the kind of thing that I'm looking for. I want to see some outside shooting and some defense.
Well, let me make everybody upset. Okay, so I mean, I'm gonna show Julius Randle, game-winning shot because everyone talks about the RJ shot like that's the greatest shot that ever happened, man. But Julius Randle did the same thing, man. Maybe it wasn't like the stakes weren't as crazy, or maybe the
Okay,
energy wasn't so crazy, and maybe because it was RJ,
this was
people put him.
before thumbs down or after thumbs down.
I think I'm not sure exactly. This is Knicks versus Washington, but to me, I don't care. To me, I don't care about that. I just want everyone that hates Julius
uh,
Randle to see him hit a game-winning shot.
let's go. Let's go see it.
Yeah, look at this. He messes up the dribble. Bad defender, perimeter defender, hits it right at the buzzer.
There you go, Grimes. There we go.
Yeah, look,
Julius Randle, Obi. There you go.
yeah, look who pops up. The whole team is there. Everybody's happy. You know, it's still a win.
There you go.
Regardless if it was against Boston or not, and whatever you want to say, but it's still a win, game-winning shot. How come nobody jumped out or out their seats for this shit? How come nobody was capping for our all-star, my man here, Kenny, shout out to Kenny Payne. He said, "Oh yeah, you're diminishing our all-star." You know what I'm saying? But I mean, listen,
Right.
you know,
Nah, man. But I mean, the thing is, like, yeah, Julius Randle, like, he has a lot of Knicks fans taken away from his All NBA season. Like, I mean, I would take that to heart too. Like, oh,
yeah.
it was just a COVID season. That season don't count. Like, that's beef words right there. Like, you can't say that to somebody like that. You can't
Yeah.
you can't do that to somebody. especially when you have Jason Tatum going to a podcast talking about being upset that that he lost the All NBA to Julius Randle. That now you got Knicks fans saying that season will count. Like
Yeah.
they're gonna take that personal. So
Yeah. Shout out to the Lakers fans. How many Lakers fans out there? They won the championship that year. How many Lakers fans say that was a real season or not? You know, they
I
played the
mean, there might
games.
be right. Yeah, right. But like the way, especially the way these Knicks fans like, yo, that season don't count. Like, oh my
So
god.
that was a preseason game winner. It's a game winner to me because the Knicks didn't make the playoffs. So whether it was a preseason game winner or not, it's still the same shit to me. Because what did we win when RJ hit that game winner against Boston? Nothing. The only thing that we did is that we made Boston wake up because I bet you they had a meeting and said, listen, man, we can't be losing to the sorry ass Knicks, man. So after that, we set a fire under them, and then they went to the NBA Finals. So anyway, so you can cry, but there's context to every conversation, my man. But yeah, let's look at this though. Let's look at some Julius Randle highlights. Just to put in perspective of where he's going to get his shots or where we don't want him to get his shots. That's another scenario also. So I'll just push play just so we can see what's going on. But we'll pause it here and there. So this is IQ giving him the ball there. So I mean,
Sacramento, he killed Sacramento, man.
yeah, but right here in this spot, Julius Randle rarely gets the ball in this spot in the post. The way that he, got position and got the ball from the point guard, he rarely gets it like that.
Yeah, that's
what I'm saying. See, he had a nice little baseline spin. Yeah. One move, not so many dribbles, just him, getting the ball in the post area, making that spin and going. Instead of over dribbling and stuff like that. This is him on a fast break. What makes this significant is that him on a beeline, straight line to the basket. You can't really stop him, and nobody's trying to stop him. If you look at my man here, that's Barrett, Davis there.
Davis there.
Yeah, he's not trying to stop Julius. That little fadeaway going out of bounds. He was making that his whole most improved season, but he didn't really do that much last year. Right here.
Again, last season we had no point guard, man. So it's like this season. That season was it's very tough when Derrick Rose only plays 25 games, man, and Kemba Walker is a washed up is a shell of himself. You know what I mean?
Well, check out this play here, man. You're talking about the point guard. This is the next play. This is Julius Randle. He got the rebound. He brought the ball up by himself. He's got his own post position, and he got to force it inside against three defenders or whatever. That's losing basketball.
Bonus over there.
Yeah, but that's losing basketball for us, man. We're not going to win with him playing that way.
I mean, look, man, we got a new situation with Jalen Brunson. So Jalen Brunson, he's going to be able to get buckets. You got. I'm not going to say that you got to double team Jalen Brunson, but you got to defend them. So Julius Randle is going to get a lot. Some of these situations are going to help him a lot.
Right, but just having Julius Randle, just having Jalen Brunson on the roster is going to prevent Julius Randle from getting the rebound and taking it coast to coast and setting up his own pole position.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, if we have Julius Randle, if you got Jalen Brunson, there's no way that Julius Randle should be doing any of that shit.
Yeah, he'll pass it. He'll probably pass it to him, especially you gotta once you earn trust and that you can make your shots and you know what you're doing, you're efficient.
Yeah,
man, you get the ball starts looking for you, man.
Yeah,
the ball starts looking for you.
At the same time, it should be the mentality. Look for your point guard, get the rebound, look for the point guard.
You're not gonna hear did you see he didn't pass the ball to RJ? He overlooked
right.
You're not gonna hear that. Yeah. But when you're making your shots, the ball looks for you. It's
simple. Now let's check this out. This is him going in between the legs too much here. Nobody's moving. It's just him bullying himself inside. That's not something that we need him to do. Here he goes again into traffic, just dribbling into traffic, ramming himself into the defense. That's something that shouldn't be happening anymore. Here he goes again.
That's a conversation that I actually want to ask, because I feel like Julius Randle does try to punish the defense and have them foul him, and that is technically, I would think that's a smart play. Hey, listen, make the defense foul you, and
But isn't that like a situational thing though?
Right, there might be some situation, but he doesn't get the call sometimes or often, and sometimes that's why he's always beefing with the refs. Like, yo, bro, like,
Yeah, that's the
yo,
thing.
listen, I made them foul me. You're not calling it. Now I look like an idiot running into this guy when
Yeah.
in fact is I made him foul me and you're not calling it, and it creates a situation like that's a situation that I'm like, listen, is it smart for him? How is it 50-50 that should he do it, or what do you think about that situation? Like,
Well, I mean, when you're talking about the pounding, I have this picture on the screen here. This is a game where we were winning, but the reason why he looks like this is because he was having a bad game. He wasn't getting no calls. They were pushing him around on the inside. He was getting a lot of bullshit fouls called against him, and he was just getting beat up inside, and he wasn't getting no fouls. But we were winning. So I mean, this stress here has to do with
right,
the way that Tom Thibodeau plays him. Like putting him in situations where he's like under a lot of stress for no reason. You know. So I just think the mentality of like just Jalen Brunson alone. Hopefully that changed things. But we,
right.
we just can't continue to
It's gonna
put
help him. It's gonna help him, right? It's gonna
right.
help him from that situation.
Yeah,
Because truth be told, like, let's not act like stars don't fight or don't argue over fouls. Like that argument. Like that argument, oh, Julius Randle shouldn't be arguing with refs. I don't agree with it because all star. You see any star, anybody that's made the All Star game, they complain to the refs. They're like, yo,
yeah,
bro, like, hey, what's going on? Especially in the beginning of the season, all of them are like, how are you refing this game? You're not expert. All of them start doing it. So we
yeah.
gotta. So I feel like you can't be soft. You're gonna get paid $28 million, and you're not gonna. And then at some point, even RJ started like complaining to the ref, like, "Hey, listen, like, I didn't like that you didn't call this," and he had to apologize afterwards. But like, bro, if you're getting $28 million, I feel like that's your role. Like, you gotta make sure that the refs are respecting your team because, like, I think you remember this, like in the Carmelo era. Sometimes they used to play us a lot. Like, they won't call. Carmelo used to get played a lot. Like,
Yeah.
he will get fouled, and he'll take it, but it didn't look good. Like, it just. I mean, I'm not gonna say it didn't look good, but it just, like, I kind of like that. At least somebody speaking up, like, hey, listen, like, what's going on? Like,
Yeah. Well,
you just
Max says that Randall's not a star, but the thing is, like, nobody on our team is a star. So what is the point of even saying that? Like Randall's not a star, RJ's not a star. None of these guys are stars. So I mean, what is the point of saying that?
well,
We
no, but what they're trying to say is they will respect it more if RJ was complaining. That's
that's
what they
not good
really
though.
want.
That's
They
that's
will.
not
They
good.
want RJ to say, "Hey, if RJ complains, then that's okay. Then we'll have his back and we'll have his support and blah 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 blah." But
Yeah.
that's what they're trying to say. They're not.
Yeah.
It has
Shout out
no.
to the whole chat though. Shout out to, I'm keying on a couple guys here, but shout out to the whole chat. I see Mike is here. I see a bunch of guys here hanging out. Greenhouse especially. Shout out to Greenhouse and everybody else, Green Grant, Greenhouse and stuff like that. Shout out to you guys. I'm paying attention to the chat stuff, but this just like something that needs to be unfolded with this whole Randall stuff, man. So I'm gonna push play a little bit more to see what else we see here. So he just hit a jump shot at the foul line. So him here, I like Julius Randle getting the ball in these positions here, because that's where he should be.
He
Foul line
should. Now,
extended.
yeah, now he could. Does he have the opportunity now? I think he should.
Yeah,
I think he does.
right. This should be his office, going right inside baseline and then throwing
Well,
a
it,
shot up.
it can be. First, you could say a lot of things should be. Now it can be because you have Jalen Brunson. Like, oh
Yeah.
man, like,
Look what he just did to that kid in Sacramento just now. Look at his drive. He gets the ball nice and easy, fake, bully his ass, bull him right over and just lay it right up, man. Make it so
mhm.
damn easy. No dribbling. Just do what you do. Drop your freaking like right there, just bodying guys on the inside. That's what he's supposed to do. You know,
Yeah.
But, this bringing the ball up the court and all this other stuff. That's not it. That's not gonna be winning basketball for us. You know,
You know,
that's, you see him working on that little floater.
right. Look, man. The thing is like the Julius Randle has a lot to work because we're trying to make the playoffs too. So you can't just limit yourself. Like, this is not I don't think that's how it works. Where you want to say, hey, you should do this, you shouldn't do that. When you're trying to go, when you're trying to play 100 games, when you're
Right.
trying to play 110 games, like you know, this is a game of everybody's trying to figure you out. So the more they figure you out, the more you just you become more limited. So
Yeah.
sometimes there are going to be games where he just is doing stuff like, why is he doing that? Because he needs to improve and so forth and so forth. So
So this is something that me and State did. We did like a record for the year 48 and 34. Now I did this with the intention of that we're not going to get Donovan Mitchell. So I still believe in this group. I believe in the 10 guys that we can play. And it really depends on Tom Thibodeau on how he gets the game plan going. But if we like we're like me and you both agree, if we can get these guards to just do what they do, let the big man do what they do, and then put everybody in a role where they're supposed to be, it would take the pressure off of Julius. It would take the pressure off whatever guy, and then like guys like Fournier and Brunson, they'll just be doing what they do. So everybody
right,
will be playing the
right,
right way.
right, and I think again, I think you said a lot of stuff, but I feel like I would emphasize more of letting the offense, letting the shooters shoot in the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because that's like talking Thibodeau language. Like, like it's not just about because we don't really cut that much. We rarely set any picks like that. Um, it's all about really playing some ISO ball and really letting players, uh, people like Evan Fournier shoot the ball and Quentin Grimes shoot it. That's what it's all about. So it's about shoot. Emmanuel quickly likes to shoot. You know what I mean? He likes to do his thing and shoot and
yeah,
take his floaters. It's about letting those guys flourish in the offense
right.
and pushing for those who are taking a lot of shots like Randle and RJ to push them to have less shots. That's what I believe. So once if they start taking less shots and those other guys start to take more shots, I think that we have a lot to work on. That's interesting.
Right. So I mean, we're talking about perimeter guys, right? So I guess you can put RG there. You could put Cam there. You could put Manuel quickly there, right? Who else we got here? Quentin Grimes there, Evan Fournier, Derrick Rose as well. So who else? Jalen Brunson, right? Those are the main guys, right? So just look at that. There's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven creators. That's seven creators that we have
Mm,
there. That it's a shame that we put so much the last couple of seasons we put too much emphasis on just Julius Randle dribbling so much when we have that many people that can actually create offense. Just like
right,
you're saying, right? All the
right.
shooters. These guys should have the ball, ready to do what they do. Shoot the ball, make plays. Julius Randle should not be in this role because we have too many guys that do that role.
Mm.
So as soon as you have Julius Randle playing this role, now you alienate these guys and force these guys to do stuff that they're not going to be effective doing.
Man, I tell you, man, I hope you know I trust that Randall's gonna be efficient this season. I really want RJ to be efficient this season, bro. Like I don't want him to be 7 for 17 for next season, man. He
Yeah,
got to make those layups, man. Those layups is the free throws, and if not, bro, pass the ball, man. Pass the ball.
yeah. I think that should be like the whole mantra for next year. Just pass the damn ball, man. Run the
Yeah, let
offense,
the
pass the
shooter
ball.
not shoot. Let the shooters shoot, bro. Like let the shooter shoot, and that's all. A lot of
Yeah,
people want to trade Fournier. I think if you understand the concept of letting the shooters shoot, we get back on track. Like, you know what? That is what matters.
right,
That is what matters. So let's get back into keeping things in perspective. Let the shooters shoot and let the playmakers play make. Julius Randle wants to be a point forward. I'm fine with it so long as Evan Fournier is breaking records. Let him
right,
break records and let make sure that Jalen Brunson is getting the ball. Hey, RJ, if you're missing layups and you're missing jump shots, pass the ball to Fournier or Brunson so that they're getting their shots up because I'm all about letting the shooter shoot next season. I don't care about. No, I have Julius Randle's really my guy. But if he's, I definitely want him to look to pass next season a lot.
Yeah,
I know he can score. I know he can score, but
yeah,
I want the shooters to shoot.
yeah. For him too, like if Fournier's dribbling the ball with Julius, I mean, excuse me, Randall and RJ. If these guys are doing their thing on the perimeter, Julius Randle's gonna be open because as soon as that, so let's say if Fournier, because Fournier can get to the basket, man. In this Euro play, I was watching a lot of European play. I forgot that he can get to the basket like that. He can cross guys up, and just he
Mm-hmm.
finds his way all the way to the rim. So if he's doing that and they double him and get into his lanes, now that is where Julius Randle's going to get the ball. He'll get the ball in those spots and he'll be able to feast. He'll still be able to
Mm-hmm.
get close to the numbers he's been getting, but he'll just be getting those opportunities in different places where he should be getting it.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the same time, you need Fournier to get off because that's how we're going to win basketball games. Getting Fournier
Yes, sir.
loose.
There we go.
Yeah,
If now you talking, yo, now you talking.
yeah,
It's true, bro. Like I want to win games.
yeah. Play
Like
the
I
two
want
man
to win
game.
games.
Yeah, play the two-man game with Julius and Fournier. That works a little bit better. People are going to talk about defense, but right now, just talking about the offense. Just two-man game with RJ and Jalen. That works. Get those
True,
guys
that's true,
going.
man. Yeah.
Yeah, guys like Mitchell Robinson will eat where they've been eating. But it
Right.
just will make more sense. The stress of it won't be there. Obi Toppin won't have to keep doing this because the way that if we rock it, like you're saying, let the shooter shoot, let the ball players do what they do, then guys won't have to do this all the time because the ball's gonna move and they're gonna find their opportunities like this.
Right.
You know,
I'm with
basketball is
you,
easy, bro. Right? Isn't basketball
man.
easy? It's a simple game.
Yeah, man. I just want to, I want the offense to click, with the guards. Like I want to be able to talk about like, wow, man, how many shots Evan Fournier took? 15 shots, 18 shots. How many shots he took? Grimes took
Right.
15 shots, 18 shots quickly. 15. I'm not just talking about no 5 or 10 shots per game. I'm talking at least 10 through 15 shots for Fournier and Grimes, and possibly Emmanuel quickly too. Like that's a lot of shots.
Yeah.
That's a lot of shots. So that means I really want Randall and RJ to take a lot less, like tens. There might be some times they might just shoot 10 times per game. Like I'm cool with that. I can live with it. Like
Yeah.
I dealt with last season them shooting only 40%. Like I'm
Yeah.
not crazy about it.
I'm with that too. As long as we get the W.
Yes,
That's the
sir.
only way I'm looking at. As long as we get that W,
Right,
I don't give a fuck how many shots who got. If we
right,
win the game, who cares?
right. So
You know. So
right.
I just took RJ and Cam out of the equation. So I mean, you're talking about quickly Grimes, Fournier, Derrick Rose, and Jalen Brunson. That's a decent backcourt rotation
Mm-hmm.
right there. That's a decent backcourt rotation right there.
And then and
Defensive
then
side and all that.
and then you can see then after the offense is so good, then I want to see some Cam Reddish defense and
Right.
some nice layup packages, and I possibly look at his how well he could shoot, his 3-pointer, his catch and shoot, and so forth and so forth. Then that becomes more interesting. But like after last season, seeing Randall and RJ shoot so much and shooting 40%, I'm
Yeah,
through
it's
with it.
not fun.
I know the only conversation people want to bring up is Randall's 40% for the field. That's like the main conversation, but nobody wants to bring up both of them. They both shot like 17 times.
Yeah.
And next season, no, I want them to shoot 10 apiece. That's it. 10, 12, 13. That's it. That's it.
Right.
I kind of want to take a break. Like
Yeah,
and
it's annoying. It's annoying to have to deal with that every day. Because I mean,
yeah.
like the whole Twitter thing. I don't mess with Twitter because the guys on Twitter make me upset, and I don't want to be
Oof.
upset. So I don't get myself involved in the conversation because like I said, I don't want to be. Because I look at it different. Guys look at it. They think of it as not being real and stuff. But I don't think of things that way. So it stresses me out. That's why I stay out of those conversations. But I
Mhm.
mean, it's one thing you can have those conversations, but they're having them every day. And then when you
Right.
try to get out of the conversation and like talk basketball, they want to keep compounding back into that nonsense, and I can't do
Right.
that 24 hours a day.
Right. It's because it's all they just I feel like they're just trying to protect an image.
Right.
It's for example, like I can't defend Julius Randle that he shot 40%. I
Right.
can add context like, hey, listen, we don't have a point guard and Nerlens Noel, but like there's a reason why we have not yet talked about RJ not only shooting 40% for the season. There's a reason.
Right.
You know, we're up to this point now. You heard all the hate about Julius Randle, and not one time. Maybe I'm the first person that maybe I'm the first, second, third person that talked to you about RJ's field goal percentage and that that I want him to take less shots next season. Like I'm probably one of the early ones to have that conversation with you. There's a reason because
Right.
they don't want you to have those RJ conversations. They just want you to focus on Randall.
Well, context is everything. Because if you say that, somebody can hear it and automatically saying that you just hated on RJ Barrett. But
Right.
it's like, but it's they're not considering the whole basketball aspect of it. They just only talking about that individual and how that affects their eardrums. And I love RJ with all my heart and soul, and this, that, and the other. And you're going
Mhm.
against that. That's what kills the conversations to me. You know.
I agree, man. I agree. Like, look, man, look, just like the next man, I want RJ to shoot 45% from the field, bro. Yes, I do.
Right.
If he does, great, man. Hey, man, you shut me up. He did better than last year. He's playing good. We're winning. He's looking good, and he's winning,
Right.
and his averages are good. I don't want to have him, with bad averages, making some nice layups. He
Right.
has nice layups, but some of them he finishes some of them not.
Yeah, a lot of times he gets stuck. He just dies. He drives to the lane and then he
Mm,
just dies down there. He has no counters and
no,
things of that
no.
nature.
After seeing Quentin Grimes and seeing that Evan Fournier broke a record, and people want to trade them, they wanted to trade Evan Fournier all season. They wanted to trade Quentin Grimes all season for Donovan Mitchell and Jaden Ivey and DeJounte Murray all season. I'm like, nah, I'm going to see some Quentin Grimes. I want to see him shoot the ball.
Yeah,
I want him to shoot as many shots as RJ's taking. I want him to shoot as many. If
well,
RJ took 10, I want him to take 10 too.
right. But another thing that just from what you were saying too, people said like they want to prove you. Reset. Guys want to prove you wrong. If you prove me wrong, but the thing is, if RJ starts shooting well, guys been saying RJ is going to be this, that, and the other for 4 years now. So if RJ finally gets it after the fifth year, is that still telling me that I mean that's just him eventually figuring it out. So is that like proving you wrong? Like let's say like
Nah,
you try to
they're hitting you with the well, you didn't believe in RJ.
yeah
That's my favorite one. You didn't believe in RJ, so don't
yeah
jump on the script now because you didn't believe in RJ back in 2021. I remember that tweet you sent out in 2020 that
yeah.
RJ Barrett's not a good job. Like I said, look, I got
Not even
myself.
2020. They go like
Yep.
2019,
Yeah,
2018. They
they're
go even
bookmark
way
tweets.
back.
Right, the RJ Barrett detectives. I call them the
Yeah,
RJ Barrett detectives. They go back and look at tweets. Oh, you didn't believe in RJ.
right.
So they make you be quiet so that you can believe in RJ. Like I'm
Well,
like,
listen,
listen, I don't think
when
he
you
got
start
a
talking
jump shot
about
like that.
believe, when you start talking about believe, that's Alice in Wonderland shit. You know what I'm saying? That's
Right.
something that happens on Sunday when you go to church. That's something when my kid comes from after school and he's showing me, yo man, look what I did on my test. Say, listen, man, I told you be working really hard. I believe in you, kid. That's where that believer stuff. This stuff here with this
Nah, man, you
basketball
didn't
stuff.
believe
Come
him.
on,
You didn't
huh?
believe in him in 2019. Don't jump ship now. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing?
But that same narrative works for Julius Randle because Julius Randle had a bad season last year. But if he has a good season this year, like I
Oh,
guarantee
no,
you, but I
they
guarantee me
don't.
and you are not going to be like, yo, see, I told you. We won't do that because we
Right,
don't think of the game that way.
right. It's all.
It's all fucked up, man. It's all fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. The receipt game for some of these guys are crazy, man. Oh my god. Yeah, definitely. So yeah, man, Mr. Raph, I like talking to you, man, because you're a smart guy. You know what I'm saying, and misunderstood a lot of times, man. But like I said, you got a whole your head might be rivaled mine, man. Me and you
Right.
guys got some big ass heads and shit.
Right, right, right.
It's a lot of
Man,
basketball knowledge in there.
and plus, I'm about as stubborn as it gets, man. Like you like to avoid the toxicity. I get in there, man.
I can't
I'm in
take
the
it, man.
ocean fighting the sharks and alligators.
But you're the god of war though. You're like Kratos. You're standing there on the ship with the monsters flying around, and you're standing there like, hey,
Oh,
come on, motherfucker. Me
I,
on the other side,
I
I'm not.
just
I'm
I
not
just can't stand when they give me nonsense and man, the whole concept like don't try to jump ship. Listen, the play the kids and then they want to trade now they want to trade the kids for everybody and
Do you remember Johnny Newman at all?
Johnny Newman. Why that rings a bell? What is that? Who
But
is
that
it?
that was early Ewing era when we had Rick Pitino, the Bomb Squad. Johnny
No,
Newman
but
was
I'm
on
a
that
big
squad.
fan of Rick Pitino though.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't know
at the
why, man.
time,
Something about Rick Pitino, I'm like, yo, man, it's like he's a good, like, I'm just a fan of his. I don't know.
he's a basketball guy. That's all I gotta say. When he coached the Knicks, he coached the Knicks for 2 seasons. When he coached the Knicks, he was 35 years old, 34 and 35. He was a young guy, So this guy is a basketball savant. He's been around the game. He is he is the game. He's been
Right,
around it so long. Now he's like what, like in his 60s or whatever he is now.
right.
He's just one of those guys. But I was talking about Johnny Newman, right? At the time, Johnny Newman was RJ Barrett at one point. It's talking about the fan base. There was no Twitter back then. There was no, this is only just conversation. So I remember as a young boy, I had to be like 10, 11 at the time when I was happening. But you get your little heroes and stuff like, oh, this is my hero. Ewing is the man. This guy. So I remember Johnny Newman. So I was like Johnny Newman. I think he averaged 11 his first year with the Knicks, 16 in the second year. So now the thought process with that is like, yo, he's gonna be the next guy. He's gonna average 20 next year. All they gotta do is give him more shots. It's the same fucking tired argument. Same thing they've been saying about
So what
uh
happened? What happened? What happened
yeah,
in the final season?
they traded him. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
But that was this more to that was 1989, 1990, right? So fast forward 4 more years, we in the NBA Finals playing against the Houston Rockets. So the question is, who gives a fuck about Johnny Newman, bro? You know what I'm saying?
Oh
If you make it to
wow.
the NBA, if you make it to the finals and almost win the championship, who is thinking about Johnny Newman? You know
Nah,
what I'm saying?
man. I've seen Rod Strictly before. I've seen him in person, man. Like I
Yeah.
remember, when I remember crossing the bridge, like in Fort Lee. I remember seeing him. Like, I mean, right there used to be a Burger King over there, and I remember seeing Rod Strickland in person. But I've never, like, well, I have to say after this interview, after this conversation, I have to take a picture. I have to see who Johnny Newman is. But
Yeah.
the only person I've seen is Rod Strickland, and
Well, Ron
I don't
Strickland was on
know.
the same team though. They were
No,
they were all on the same team.
right. I mean, I've seen Tim Hardaway Jr. before too. Like he was around my hotel.
Yeah.
But what I was gonna say about, man, when I see them in person, man, I just get shook. I don't even say nothing, man. Like sometimes I'm like, man, how come you didn't say what's up? What's up? I might have said what's up to Ross Strickland, but
Ron Strickland is the
before,
only. I think Ron Strickland is the only player out there that I freeze up for. He is my idol. Because
yeah,
like I said, I'm talking
I
about
feel that
10.
too.
Yeah, 10 years. I was like 10 years old, 11 years old. So when they traded him, when they traded Ron Strickland, I actually cried because he was only on the roster for like a half a season or something like that when we
I
traded him.
feel like I was a fan of Rod Strickland even before I was a Knicks fan. If that
Yeah,
makes any sense, right?
yeah.
Just like I knew him. Oh, that's Rod Strickland. But
Waits for the
I was
DX.
still not a like. I was still wasn't like a hardcore Knicks fan because I was like, okay, well, okay, they got Patrick Ewing. Okay, yeah, and who else they got? Like, if they would have had Rod Strickland, like, oh, okay, yeah, I could probably want to be like a player like,
Yeah.
like a Rod Strickland. You know what I mean?
Well,
Growing up, but
he played for the Gauchos. He's from the Bronx and stuff like that. So you have that connection.
mm,
So definitely.
see, I didn't even pay. I didn't. No, I don't even know all that. But I've
Yeah.
seen him in person, and I don't even got those whole, all
Yeah,
that
bro,
stuff.
bro, I remember crying because I was 10, like I said, 10, 11. I remember crying when they traded him. And that's what made me really get into trades now because I'm a little kid. So now I was like, why did that happen? So then I started finding it. Now that became a beast. I was already a Knicks fan, but at 10 years old,
Mm,
I started becoming a beast. But like I said, fast forward 4 more years after that, nobody was thinking about Ross Strickland. Nobody was thinking about Johnny Newman. Our point guard was Charlie Ward. You know what I'm saying? Our small forward
right.
was freaking Charles Smith. Who cares? As long as we made it to the finals and it put us an opportunity to almost win. You know what I'm saying? That's what really matters. That's the big conversation. That's what
Right.
really matters.
Allen Houston a sign or a sign and trade? How was Allen Houston?
He was signed. Yeah, he was signed.
It
Free
was
agent.
just a straight up sign, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so that's what I thought I might.
What was that?
Because there
96,
was a
right?
whole. Because I remember the Chris Childs, Larry Johnson, like it was a whole
Yeah,
thing. It's like
96.
the Knicks had like 5 players. I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, and
Yeah, that,
everybody
that
was
was
just
that
fucking.
was almost like the decision, because it was like mad people was free. I think it was Gary Payton was a free agent, Jordan was a free agent, Reggie Miller was a free agent. There's a lot of free agents that one summer '96, man. Well, we ended up getting Chris Childs and Houston that year.
Okay, that's what it was.
Yeah,
I'm a fan of like those other people. You know, after my first conversation with you,
Yeah.
I realized that I'm like, most of my favorite players wasn't even drafted by the Knicks.
Right.
So a lot of people are very big into like players that were drafted here, like like RJ Barrett. Oh, like Patrick Ewing, he had a huge base.
Right.
But like my favorite was um Allen Houston. Anthony Mason would be another favorite if I could, because
Yeah.
I like
Absolutely.
Anthony Mason has the he had the hairstyle. He was kind of cool with it. He had a small little handle. I liked his attitude as well. So so Anthony Mason was another favorite uh, as well. Who will be the Latrell Sprewell, of course.
Yeah.
But it was unfortunate that Mason got traded, man, for Larry Johnson. Even though I kind of like Larry Johnson too. Like I had a Larry Johnson jersey when I was younger. Like I
Right.
used to wear that. Yeah, like
Well,
I had
right
my
now
Larry.
I got the 94 roster here, man.
I
So
had the Charlotte. I had the number 2 Charlotte because Larry Johnson. I thought,
he was the man.
yeah, he
You
was
know,
the man. He was cool.
yeah, I think we mean you close in age, man. So when he was drafted, the UNLV squad, he was larger than life. He had the gold tooth and stuff like that. He was like the dude from up the block. Larry Johnson.
Mm,
Hip hop era, that type of thing.
right.
Yes, man. So
So
on
he
the
was
screen
kind of
here,
cool.
yeah, on the screen here, I got this is the 94 finals team. So there's not really many people the Knicks drafted here. Greg Anthony was drafted by the Knicks. Hubert Davis drafted Patrick Ewing,
I
and
like Hubert Davis.
yeah, nobody else was drafted by the Knicks on the squad. Nobody.
Yeah, but a lot of like you talk to a Knicks fan today, it's all about well, it has their favorite has to be a guy that's drafted, which is okay. Like if that's their rule, but
Right.
even in the '90s, my favorite was Allen Houston, Mason, Latrell
Yeah.
Sprewell. It was never so I kind of accepted that, and now look, Julius Randle's my favorite. So it's just like like most of the players that I like, it just that wasn't even drafted, and I just like what, this is just who I am. Like I take it for what it is. Like for those that want a homer for the players that we drafted, that's cool. But me, I've always keeping a rule myself, and I've always liked the players that the Knicks brought through free agency,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's that. You know what I mean? So
When you talk about heart and soul too, man, people like you mentioned Anthony Mason, people mentioned Charles Oakley as heart and soul. John Starks, another guy, heart and soul, but none of these guys were drafted by the Knicks. These guys were pulled off the scrap heap from other people's teams, and we brought them here, and they was able to become who they
make
became.
a name for themselves.
Yeah. You also mentioned Latrell Sprewell. Sprewell was actually traded for Starks. You know,
Wow.
so look at the perspective. It's
So we
just
fleeced them. You see how we fleeced them for John. We got Latrell Sprewell for Starks, and then we got fleeced, and they got Steph Curry. You think it's a
yeah.
coincidence?
I don't know. But I mean, the Curry thing when they got Curry, that was because Minnesota is trash. They drafted 2 point guards ahead of Steph Curry, so they in worse shape than we are.
Mm.
Remember Johnny Flynn?
Well, I don't know if they're in worse shape than we are right now because they got Karl Anthony Towns and
I know, but I'm,
Anthony
I'm talking about
Edwards.
that draft though. That
No,
draft
that
with
draft. You're right though. You're right though. But
they drafted Johnny Flynn and freaking what's the Rubio and Johnny Flynn ahead of Stephen Curry.
right.
Sheesh, right? So I mean, he goes another. This is the '99 team. So we're talking about Rick Brunson. You got Marcus Camby, Childs, and whatever. If you look through the squad, only Ewing. I'm looking at everybody. Ewing and Charlie Ward were the only 2 guys that were drafted by the Knicks that in that 1999 championship run. Only two players were drafted by the Knicks.
Charlie Ward kind of earned respect just a little bit because Allen Iverson spoke about him. Like he
Yeah,
said, he also played football. So I remember like watching an Allen Iverson interview, like when he was about to play the Knicks, and he's like, he can't take anybody lightly in the league, and it was something along the lines like that. I used to take those. Even back in when I was in the '90s, I was still like, "Oh man, Allen Iverson is talking. I gotta like listen to what he's saying."
yeah,
Because like so even now like if my favorite player is talking like in the post game, I'm listening, I'm tuning in
yeah,
before the game and after the game.
yeah, definitely. You can kind of read in between the lines what guys are saying too. Like sometimes they'll say something, and then if they say it and you're watching the game and stuff like that, you get what they. Yeah, all right, I get it. I get what they're saying. They can't really say it out loud, but you can kind of read between the lines sometimes what these guys are saying to each other.
Like some people don't know that Scott Brooks, he played for the Knicks.
Yeah, he did. He was trash
Yeah,
too.
yeah, Iverson crossed him bad too.
Yeah, I think everybody crossed. I think I could have. I think I could have buzzed Scott Brooks' ass back in the days. Man. He was trash,
Yeah,
man.
but yeah, he played like I remember Scott Brooks. I'm like he's a coach. Well, he was a coach for the Wizards.
Yeah,
but yeah, he played for the Knicks.
see, look, Punisher BX1. Like, how old are you, bro? You know, because he wasn't straight role player. He was the second leading scorer with the Knicks, that year. Ewing, it was Ewing. Gerald Wilkins also was scoring a little bit, but I think Johnny Newman with the 16, that the second year that he was with the Knicks, I think he was the second leading scorer, if I'm not mistaken.
Was he a lefty?
Johnny Newman, was he a lefty? I'm not sure if he was a lefty. But I'm just, just the way I feel about Johnny Newman, especially when I remember at the time as a little kid. But the thing, I'm talking about little kids, man. These guys are like that are arguing with you on Twitter are like 30, 32,
Right.
34, 40 something. You know what I'm saying?
No,
Grown men crying and screaming like they're 10 years old.
Yo, the beef be real too.
Yeah.
The beef be real.
Yeah, that's
that's what they do to you get boycotted. They boycott you, man. For real.
Yeah, man. Like you're Frankenstein. They got the pitchforks outside.
Nah, they tell them, listen, don't follow this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, but at the same time, now you're starting to pop on Twitter, man. So now the respect, people see the respect. They gotta respect you because no matter how many times they try to flame you, you rise up from the ashes like a phoenix, and you're still there.
I got some new tools. I got. There's a lot of new tools that I'm working on too. Like, I'm ready for the arguments this year. There's a lot of beef.
You added the hook shot.
There's so much beef because a lot of people like to talk about expectations, but they don't want to create expectations. Like I just don't like the whole concept of like, hey, we got to have expectations, but they don't want to have expectations for their favorite players like RJ Barrett. Like he got paid. Don't tell me he's getting more money than Julius Randle, so don't tell me.
Right.
That's a good question. That's a
question that nobody wants to talk about.
Nobody wants. You want to get boycotted? Like you ready to? Like you got to risk it all.
Shut the stream down, bro. They're gonna shut the stream down for this question.
Man. Man. I have to you have to. I have to constantly weigh my options with talking RJ Barrett. Like you gotta, like Raph. Do you want to? You're ready. Do you want to lose a couple of followers? I'm like, I think I got too many. I think I got too many followers on Twitter right now. I think. So it's just I wonder that I'm like, let me calm down. Let me calm down. But it's the guy got paid, and I want him to be better. I want him to be better.
But has he reached the ceiling? That is a great question.
That's a great question.
Yeah, because reaching the ceiling. Okay, like what's gonna make RJ better? Like him finishing better, right? Him cleaning up his jump shot, making his free throws. That's it, really. I can't see him getting too much better at his dribble because it's the way his body's made. He's not gonna get more athletic. That's impossible. You can. He might be able to because he's going into his prime. Maybe better footwork, yes. But outside of that, what else is going to change to make him that much better?
Yeah, right. I think next season, so maybe more efficient. You think he gets more efficient next season?
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But I actually think that even if he's efficient with the roster that we have, he might actually have quote unquote worse numbers. As far as scoring, he might not get 20 something. He might even hover around 20, maybe get 17, 18. But if he's doing that, that means Jalen Brunson is cooking. You know what I'm saying? That means Julius Randle is cooking. You know what I mean? That means the other guys are doing what they need to do. If they're doing what they need to do and we're winning, then it shouldn't matter what RJ's doing scoring wise,
So what? You think he's averaging 17, 5, and 5?
That would be excellent if he did that.
That would be excellent. But even 15, 5, and 5 is respectable too, right?
Yeah.
Is that respectable? 15, 5, and 5, or it has to be at least 17?
No, I mean, anything as long as we're winning is respectable. But I think RJ will probably get more than 15. But you know what I think of? I keep mentioning it to people. People always shoot me down. I always talk about Luol Deng. You know,
Right.
Luol Deng made an All-Star team. He was on a really good Chicago Bulls team. Shout out to Tom Thibodeau. He was also the coach. But like if Luol Deng was on a different squad where he was getting more shots, he would have averaged 20 points per game a couple times. But he was on such a good team that he didn't need to score 20. The team was good already. He didn't need to get those shots and put up those numbers like that. He didn't have to. You know,
Right.
and I think that's the most important thing there. Yeah, man. So it's cool having you on, Mr. Ralph, man. I
Yo,
think we
man.
talked about
Same here,
RJ,
man.
Randall and stuff. What's your closing points, man? I know you got something in there. What's your closing?
Uh, I don't know, man. I just want to say that we spoke a lot about RJ, right, today. So
Yeah.
I think we spoke about RJ. We spoke about Randall.
Mhm.
Um, we spoke about Leon Rose and what he put on the table for Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I'm creating conversation for, like, if I come through next time, or if you have another guest, like, this is a conversation, like, that Obi Toppin was available.
Right.
Was available. RJ Barrett was available. Emmanuel Quickly was available. I don't like to say this stuff, but
Right.
but I gotta, if I have to be that guy to remind people, so that there is better, so that there is better conversations overall, then I'll do it. You don't want to put that pressure on me, because I will do it. So, um, so
The shooter. You are the
RJ,
shooter.
RJ, Emmanuel Quickly was available. Mitchell Robinson was available. Um, so those four guys were available. Cam Reddish's name is on trade talks. So I think those are discussions about. Um, Sometimes I wonder, like, if RJ, like, the reason that his name was brought up was because the if because, like, he was compared to Chris Middleton coming into the league.
Right.
And I'm like, the only way I can possibly see Leon Rose wanting to move away from him, if he feels like he's not going to live up to being a Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton can shoot the ball,
Right.
and I don't know if RJ Barrett's shot is jump shot is solid like that, where Leon Rose can say, what, we can win with him. He can shoot the ball. He's Chris Middleton has a nice game.
Well,
So that's
let
my
me
whole
put up.
thing. So,
I put up Chris Middleton stats on, just for context. This is Chris Middleton, 6'7", 222, about the same size as RJ, right? Go down to his stats. If you look at his stats, I'm looking for some big time stats here. His major years from 18 points to 20 points. We're not looking at a guy that's putting up astronomical numbers. He's putting up RJ numbers on a winning squad.
right. So maybe he's peaking. But look how efficient he is from the field and from the free throw line.
Yeah, look at it,
Like,
88.
this is not just beautiful highlights that he makes maybe 1 out of 4. He's making 3 out of 4 of of his shots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When getting to the rim or taking that jump shot.
Yeah, get into the rim. He shoots 50% from 2-point range, which is good. 3-point range, 38%. 46% overall. In the 88% from the free throw line, that's why he's 19 points and 5 rebounds and 4 assists there. That's not something so far that we can't reach.
Right, like, his free throw percentage is crazy. Like, 85% from the free throw line. I'm like, RJ Barrett's going to make 85% from the free throw line. I'm like,
He
I
needs to
hope.
push for it though. That used to be a goal for players back in the days. That's like a lost thing now. People they disregard free throws in this era. If you look around the league, there's not really a lot of guys that really value free throws like that. In this league.
RJ Barrett was very pissed. He was very unhappy with himself about the free throws. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he steps up. Maybe he gets better at that next season. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. But like we're saying that even if he gets better, where like he doesn't need to get 25. He doesn't need to get 28, 30 points per game. That's not
No.
where he should be. Like just like Middleton. I just had the stats up there. he was only averaging about 20, 20
Yeah,
points, throughout this whole time. You
yeah.
know, that's very modest. But as long as we're winning, if he's getting 20 points per game, borderline 20, 19, 18, 20, that's fine.
And
I
look,
want to win.
right, and even Giannis, he credits Chris Middleton a lot.
Yeah.
Listen, man, he'll tell you. Listen, if it wasn't for Chris Middleton,
Yeah.
he said something along the lines like he needs Chris Middleton. I forget what he said because I better keep up with the Bucks. But like I know that he values him a lot.
Yeah.
He takes 20 shots. He's very efficient at it, and he plays his game.
Well, Giannis can't take because Giannis gambles a lot. All the blocks and things that I think, driving to down the lane or whatever. Middleton bails him out a lot. With all
Yeah,
the
because Giannis is very big on effort. He's an
yes,
effort guy.
yeah,
So there's never a question about effort with Giannis. He always has to give defensive effort, offensive
yeah.
effort all the time. So
Yeah.
he
If he
never
didn't
gets
have
tired.
Middleton, he would have to hone that down some, because he can't
Mm,
go balls to the wall if there's nobody driving. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just floor it and there's nobody paying attention to it. You got to have a navigator. Middleton is
mm,
that navigator next to the guy that's got the
that's a good point. That's a good
yeah.
point. You got
Yeah, so if RJ could become the navigator, maybe Brunson's the guy that's gonna go crazy next year. But like you said, if the perimeter guys are doing their job, maybe Julius Randle has a resurgence because now he's in the spots where he should be, rather than doing things
mm,
he shouldn't be doing. So I think that's where the conversation will evolve, because you were talking about the trades and stuff. So like if everything plays out the way it's supposed to be, the way that me and you were saying it, right? I think we'll be good. We'll be winning. So if we're winning, once we get to the trade deadline, now you're talking about these guys like OB and all this and whatever. You
Cam
can maybe,
Reddish.
yeah,
But
maybe you
Cam
could
Reddish got
package
to
these
get paid.
guys.
Listen, but Cam Reddish is probably going to want to get paid.
Yeah, that's another thing too. So
No,
the writing is on the
he's
wall,
not going to want $8 million.
right? The writing is on the wall to package some of these guys to possibly get the missing piece.
Obi's going to want more minutes and more money. So
Yeah, yeah. So
I don't know if this is the team, but he's gonna want more. He's gonna want a bigger role.
yeah.
Um, you never know.
Yeah. So those those guys that we were mentioning, we can put them in a package possibly to get that missing piece, possibly. You never know.
Mhm.
Stranger
Right,
things have happened.
right. I mean, who's gonna say no for a package of Obi and Cam Reddish and Derrick Rose?
Well, listen, like his minute, my guy here, he said, who is the Giannis on his team, that RJ can justify putting up Middleton numbers. All right, so listen, who is the RJ? Who is the Giannis? There is no Giannis on his team, but at the same time, not having a Giannis on his team does not justify RJ just chucking up a bunch of shots and us losing. You know?
I just feel like, and also it ignores that RJ Barrett needs to play his role. Like,
Right,
why does it have to be justified that RJ Barrett has to? You have to have a Giannis for RJ Barrett to play like Chris Middleton. Like
right.
you were he was already compared to Chris Middleton. Why do you need? It's not an insult for him to play his role.
Right.
It's enough.
And why do we have to put so much pressure on RJ to become that 30-point a game scorer? He doesn't need to do that.
It's just,
You know?
man, you know what it is? That's all just more excuses they want to create for RJ. This is all this is, like, or
Yeah.
more excuses for RJ. Okay, fine, whatever. Like, if you want to make more excuses for RJ, go ahead. Like, you proved your point that you guys are very big. You're a very big RJ Barrett fan. I get it. Like, some of you guys feel like you got to prove that you're a big RJ Barrett fan. I'm not hating on that. Like, okay, you
Yeah.
proved the
Yeah. Do
point.
you, right? Do your thing, man. Like
You
that.
proved your point. Like, you got me. You proved it to me. You proved it to everybody. I ain't gonna knock
Well,
it.
this is the only jersey I own right here, man.
Look, I'm guilty of it. I'm a Julius Randle fan. So, like, Julius Randle. I proved my point that I'm a huge Julius Randle fan. So I'm not to prove that point that I'm not better than anybody. So
Right.
that's all.
Well, listen, man. I'm a Ralph fan. I'm a Raphael Diaz fan. You know what I'm saying? That's why I got you
Yes,
on here. Love talking Knicks with you, man. I like to have
yeah,
you on as much as you would like to come on.
for
You
sure,
talk about
man.
whatever
Nah,
you want to talk
anytime,
about.
man. Anytime, man. It's
Yeah.
always good basketball, man. and I like that. I'm glad that we just talking basketball because I don't get to talk basketball. I have to go to war for that. I have to go
Yeah.
to war for that. I have to. If I don't talk basketball with you, Eru, I'm gonna go to Twitter Spaces and it's not gonna be pretty there. It's not gonna.
Yeah.
It's already not gonna be pretty.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times with me, sometimes I get into rants and I'm like talking, and then and like after I finish talking, I look over and it's my wife standing next to me, like, "Yo, could you? I
Well,
don't know
I'm
what you're
telling you,
talking about."
Eru, I'm to the point. Eru, look, I got 450 followers, man. I don't know how much I'll have. You know.
Well, I mean, the season's happening. You guys are doing your thing with the Twitter Spaces and stuff. I think that's gonna really blow for you guys, man. So that all that will
I
change,
hope
man.
so, man. But
Yeah,
I got 450. I mean, they might put me in jail, man. I might get myself,
they might. Well, listen, if you're too good, they
they're
put
gonna
you in jail.
block me in the whole nine. They're like, you said RJ Barrett, I put out a tweet. I think RJ Barrett should take less than 17 shots.
Yeah,
That was enough. That was enough for people to say I hate RJ Barrett. That was enough right there. Like, so
yeah,
it's not gonna be easy, man. But I want him to take less shots.
yeah, man. Yeah, shout out to everybody that popped up in the chat. Shout out to my man. Knicks will be 2026 NBA champs. Yeah, man, I'm with it. I'm with this. I'm with that. It's 2022 now, so what's it to say that we won't be champs? This year. Like it all depends on how good our guys play to put us in position to make other moves to get us to where we need to go. So that
Right.
that number two on 26 could expedite. It could be 2023, it could be 2024. We don't know the future. That's the thing about these conversations. We don't know the future.
But I gotta give credit to Leon Rose, man, because Leon Rose said, "You gotta be careful, me. I'm gonna just keep talking until you let me." But I gotta give credit to Leon Rose. Yeah, I'm doing you in. I gotta give credit to Leon Rose because I made a video, man. I really got at him over Kemba Walker, that Kemba Walker signing.
Right.
And we didn't trade anybody for Jalen Brunson. Like, so I kind of give credit. I'm like, listen, he brought in Derrick Rose, he brought in Cam Reddish, and now we signed Evan Fournier, and now we signed Jalen Brunson. Like, I'm kind of happy. I'm pleased with him. But before, like when Julius Randle and Tibbs were taking all that heat, I was pissed. But now I'm like, you know what, man? Okay, Leon Rose, I'm cool. I'm in good spirits. Like, you know what? I mean, I know that he has to deal with the RJ Barrett hive and the RJ Barrett police that he tried to trade RJ Barrett. So that's those guys hate him. Let those guys deal with him. But as a Julius Randle fan, like, to finally have a point guard like Jalen Brunson that can help Julius Randle, and knowing the fact that he drafted Quentin Grimes, knowing the fact that I think Deuce McBride could have a good year. That's another conversation for next time. Deuce McBride could be yes.
He's the forgotten Nick.
Forgotten.
Nobody
I mean,
talks about
Derrick
him.
Rose might be gone, and then Deuce McBride could get more minutes. So like we gotta, this is a good conversation.
Shout out to Jericho Swims too. Shout out to Jericho Sims.
Yeah, Isaiah Hartenstein is a sleeper.
Nobody talks about him at all.
Right, and Mitchell Robinson. Look, man, I know you're gonna kill Mitchell Robinson, but I think he could have a good year this year. I don't know if you remember, one thing that I liked about last year was Deuce McBride and Mitchell Robinson on the floor together.
Defense.
I think it was against the Phoenix Suns. Those two guys, they were cooking. They had Devin Booker in trouble. So I want to see some of that next season.
There's a lot of everything, man.
Rose. If we trade Derrick Rose by the trade deadline, I'll be cool with it. I'll say this about Derrick Rose. I think he should have the same rights. Like, I wouldn't trade him like that. I would say, listen, if you want to go, let me know. Right. I'm not gonna disrespect Derrick Rose like that.
Yeah, wherever he wants to go, if there's an opportunity, I think
if he wants to go, cool. If he feels like, hey, listen, you think Deuce McBride is gonna be okay? You think he'll be fine with Tibbs? I know he can defend, but can he run the offense and can he shoot enough? Like, that'll be some good basketball for him to get minutes as well as IQ.
Yeah,
and we could have that conversation. Again, talk about some Deuce. We can also talk about some more Quentin Grimes. We could talk about more Sims. Sims, man, is always strong. He's always solid.
Yeah.
And
Tibbs was talking about him not too long ago. They was talking about his hands and being able to finish and stuff. So I mean,
right,
he's developing also. We don't know what he's going to be. We don't know if he's a power forward, center. He still could end
right,
up
he
being.
could be traded. I wouldn't be.
Yeah,
Listen, that's a trade piece.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
mean, I don't know who I would want to trade him for, but the Knicks they're not talking small names. So once you
Right.
start talking Donovan Mitchell, that means everybody's available. And you saw Knicks fans, everybody wanted Donovan Mitchell for you know.
Yeah, we
eh,
was ready for it.
Yeah,
I was tired of talking about it. I wanted it to happen so we could just move on already. That's the
so
whole
you
thing
saw
with
so
that.
you know how that goes. Everybody's available. So that's another name that could possibly be thrown in the trade. The Knicks want to keep themselves with those kind of names.
Yeah,
Even in the losing situation, the point that the simple fact that the Knicks were able to maintain themselves with a big name still keeps them relevant because it's not like we lost anybody in our roster. We still kept everybody,
right.
and let's see how that goes. I'm sure there's gonna be some people are gonna go crazy. Julius Randle trades, and I hate Julius. All that is just Julius Randle hate and wishing more. But hopefully RJ Barrett has a good year this year. So I hope RJ is more efficient this year. And that's it for today, man. I think I gave you my all.
Yeah, you did. You did. But just to finish it up, it's good to keep the stuff in the stable just in case when something happens. Now we have the package to because we could touch Donovan Mitchell, but we didn't pay up. We could have paid for it and got Donovan Mitchell, but we know we could touch guys now, and we know we
Right,
have
right. You see
you know
that?
yeah,
This
we
is
could touch
good. This is
guys.
good conversation, Eru. This is good. Eru,
Yeah,
we're gonna have to say this for next time.
yeah. So
But
people
we're
can't
really
say.
pushing it. Right, right,
Yeah,
right. We're
people
pushing
can't
an
say that.
hour
Oh
and a
no,
half.
we can't get that guy. How we gonna get him? Yo,
Right,
we went like this to Donovan Mitchell. We went like that
right.
to him.
Yes, we did. So that means don't tell me we can't get Shea. Don't
Yeah,
tell me we can't get Devin Booker. It's all
yeah,
about whether we want them or not. You know
right.
what I mean? So it's
Yo,
kind of
shout out to
good.
Devin Booker though. Devin Booker with Phoenix with CP3 and all that. They look like
Right,
they might eventually be going down with no
right.
nothing to fill in the so
Right.
that Devin Booker might be a guy we can go like this to. Whoop.
Right. And he's down with CAA. Don't tell me we can't when we were almost this close to getting Donovan Mitchell.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't talk. So I think that's a good stepping stone, right? Stepping
Yeah.
stone to
Yo, that's another 2 hour pod right there, man. So I
yes,
mean,
yes, it
listen,
is.
we
Yeah,
gotta we
yeah.
gotta
So
like this. Gotta keep him in the holster,
yeah, yeah,
man,
yeah,
for
yeah.
the
We got
next
we
one.
got we got we got something to work with that. So
Yeah,
that's
no doubt,
about
no
it.
doubt. All right, so my man Ralph, I'm not gonna give you nothing else to talk about because we're gonna be here again for two more
Yeah,
hours,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
But shout out to the chat, shout out to Ralph, to Raph. I appreciate you coming on, man. And
Likewise,
hopefully I can have you more on here, man. I like talking to you.
likewise, man.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Peace, everybody.
Peace.
Yeah. Oh, you want to do a pose? You want to do a pose this
Oh,
time?
whatever. Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I do oppose. Yeah.
Yo,
Go
for
ahead.
those who don't know, he Ralph was pissed off that I didn't do a pose with him. But that was a special
Oh,
occasion and stuff like that. But if you want to do like anything, whatever you want to do, I just do what you do.
bro, because I like the ending. I like the way you did it. You hooked me up.
Yeah.
I think you hooked it up, so it was cool. So I do a pose.
You do a pose, guy? Do your pose.
I just want to like that.
Just do it like that. All right, I got two for you. Put it up a little closer so you can see. All right, there you go. All right, y'all. All right, we out of here, man. Peace, y'all.
Peace.